Just know what to show, to know what to do. Just jump in the queue, it's down to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's down to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue. Watch the show, to know what to do. Just jump in the queue, it's all up to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's all up to you.
One thing for sure and two things for certain is I'm never gonna hear you out if what I'm hearing is stupid. I'm not gonna hear that. I'm not gonna receive that. That's not my ministry. A lot of y'all sit and give too much of y'all time and effort to people who don't deserve it. Why would you be listening to somebody telling you that 2 + 2 is 92 when you know it's not? That is a waste of my time. It's not of the kingdom. It's not. And I would not subject myself to foolishness, okay? Because I don't like to consider myself to be foolish, so I don't want to sit with it. No, it ain't nothing we can do. We done talking. I'm done talking. I'm done listening as well. Yeah, so I don't know who needs to hear that. I hope it reaches you and I hope it touches your spirit. Stop entertaining foolishness because people will start seeing you as foolish or somebody to be played with. And I don't like to be played with. Go play Atari. Go play some spades, but don't play with me. All right, love you. Bye. One thing for
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? It's your girl, Super. How y'all doing this evening? What's going on? What's going on? I'm back. And today we are going to talk about something other than politics. So if you here for some drama, if you here in the bushes to see what I'm going to say about somebody else, I don't talk about other people. I prefer face to face. So find you something else to do, or you can stay and listen. We're going to have a great show tonight. Okay. I'm going to explain the topic to you in just a few moments, but let me see who's here in the room. Everybody, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, okay, this video. And let all your friends know, share with everybody. Today, we are highlighting a Black author. I want to start doing this once a month. Black authors, self-published authors, this is the time for them, and I want to start highlighting them and reading some of the things from some of the books. Let's see who up in here. Jim C, what's up? Hey, Wyoming gal, what's going on, my favorite gal? Hey, Javar, how you doing? Dave Bryson, what's going on? French Wrench. I see your name has changed, French Wrench. I still love it, but, you know, I'm still call you French Wrench because I love that. And your videos are really making my day, by the way, okay? Let everybody know that your girl Super is on. Today, we are talking about, you see the topic, it says parallel rooms. I know you are wondering, what are we talking about, Super? You say you want to highlight Black authors. Well, the link to this book is in the description of this video. We are live on Twitch and on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe everywhere as we begin to talk about this Black author. The title of the book is Parallel Rooms, a horror anthology. Hey, Deb Hill, how you doing? All right. It is a series. Let me just tell you because I'm so excited. Listen, this author right here, okay? Let's just look at the back. I'm going to show you the back. Brace yourself, women. Brace yourself, okay? Brace yourself, okay? That man fine. Look at that man there. Look at that man. Look at him. Okay. But other than that, Roger Cook, who is the author of this book, the book is only $10 on Amazon. I'll put the link in the bio. Please support this Black author. Please support him. And the book is only $10. It's on Amazon. It'll come in a few days. I got mine in a few days. I have read this from cover to cover. I'm actually going to read an excerpt from it, my favorite story in this book. It is a collection of short stories, right? Short stories, if you know anything about short stories, you don't exactly get the ending. You get like the beginning, you get a little bit of the middle, and then you're left wondering. For me, that was the horror. The horror was I did not get an ending to some of these things. And I was like, when is book 2 coming? Please let me get book 2. That's how good this book is. These horror stories. And this is my type of horror. My type of horror is a psychological horror, not any type of blood and guts and all that. This is a psychological, you have to think type of horror. Okay? I have the author here with me today. Roger Cook is in the building. Okay? You believe it? Okay, believe it, child. Listen. All in the queue got a celebrity on the show today. Tell everybody. Okay, like, share, and subscribe. Tell them everybody. Okay, that a celebrity is in the building. The author of this book, Roger Cook, Parallel Rooms. It is a series of short stories. Y'all ready for me to read you a portion from my favorite story? If you're ready for me to read it, put a 2 in the chat. I'm going to put my glasses on. Y'all know the glasses. I definitely cannot read this book without my glasses today. I cleaned them up. Now, you know when we put these glasses on, we mean business. Okay? I lost Roger, but he'll be back. Okay. So, my favorite story from this book, the title of it is called The Silent Exodus. Black author. This is what, look at this, The Silent Exodus. Even the name is like, woo. Okay, listen. The Silent, this was my favorite story. I'm going to read an excerpt from this story. Okay, here we go. A woman, her eyes blazing with anger and grief, stood in front of his desk, a 9mm pistol trained on him. That skin, the shade they tried to scrub out of the textbooks and beauty advertisements, stood bold and burning, like a wound they couldn't heal or hide. Her grip on the gun was calm, but her fury was not. It boiled in her blood, quiet and volcanic, aimed dead center. No flinching, no bluff, only justice waiting for an excuse. You're hiding from us, she accused. Hiding from the truth. Ma'am, please. The gun aimed at the detective's mouth to silence him. My husband, my boys, they're gone. And you're doing nothing. You're all the same, indifferent to our pain, our suffering. That's not fair. Detective Jameson's face reddened, his pupils swelling inside pale blue eyes, silent alarms blinking behind them. I've dedicated my entire career to helping people, 26 years, regardless of their background. Regardless of their background? The woman's gaze intensified. You don't even see us, do you? Of course you don't. You should be ashamed of yourself, you devil. I'm not a racist, Detective Jameson protested, his voice and his gaze staying as steady as the hand slowly reaching for the revolver that was secured underneath his desk. Not a twitch in his face, not a hitch in his breath, just a whisper of motion as his fingers curled around the cold steel, preparing to draw the gun like a secret he wasn't yet ready to share. I'm just trying to. Trying? The woman interrupted once again. You're trying? You've been trying for centuries and still to this day, we're the ones who die by the hands of the ones sworn to protect us. The ones who disappear and no one cares. The system wasn't built for us. It was built on us. Our pain gets buried in your paperwork. Our names get filed under threat. Our sons get cages, not counsel. And when we demand fairness, we're angry. When we demand answers, we're dangerous. But we're still here standing. Not at all because the system protects us, but because we have learned to survive the weight of injustice. Listen, let me tell you, that's not the end of the short story, but that was my favorite part. Let me get the author up here. Listen, right now we're going to welcome the author of that great piece of excerpt of work that you heard, Mr. Roger Cook. Woo, Roger, you bring out the crowd, don't you?
Hey, Kim, you did a beautiful job reading that. I need to get you on the payroll for the other audiobook, please and thank you.
Oh my God.
Please and thank you.
This was so compelling because
Thank
I feel
you so
like
much.
that particular story is something that is happening right now.
It is.
Right? I feel like I could feel her pain. I could feel her disgust. And I felt everything that she said, that the system is built on us, not for us. That was a weighty metaphor. Like, wow. So let's back up.
Okay.
Mr. Cook, how did you come upon writing this book?
I went to school for communications and I minored in African American studies. The minor was on accident. I took so many classes that it was like, hey, you got enough credits to be a minor. I was like, let's go put it down. So I'm very in the news. I see what happens to us. And I just thought, I was like, what would the world be like if there were no black men? If black men just disappeared, who would we blame?
That's a heavy question.
So I was thinking, I was like, okay, so the world is gone of black men. Who's going to advocate for us? Who better than the queens? So I was like, okay, so we're going to have a conversation between a black woman and a white detective and have some a really hard conversation, a very hard conversation. And I really needed and focused on, I know there was, like you said, that's just a short part of the story. But that was, to me, where I really had to focus, because that was the spine. And I just really needed her to come down hard with the right tone, the right fire to be able to make somebody open their eyes. So that was the silent exodus.
I'm telling you, when I got to the end of that story, I threw the book. Because I didn't want it to be the end, right? I didn't. I was like, wait. I know that maybe these stories hook together. I was like, no.
Yeah, if you want more, man. Well, actually, I have a second book coming. I got a second book coming, but if you want more, based on the other reviews, in the second book, I do have a prequel for Black Moon. It's an origin story of the character Marcus. But if you like the story, just say so, and we'll see what we can put in another book.
I'm telling you, for everybody that just came into the room, hey, Laura Reck, how are you? Go and support my friend Roger Cook. The link is in the bio to purchase this book from Amazon. It is only $10. It's called Parallel Rooms, and it is a series of horrific. When I say horrific, they're like psychologically horrific stories. They're all wonderful. You know, the story that contained the Boo Boo the Fool. And I chose that one because I know you are in the South. My family is from the South. So that's all we ever hear our parents say when we get in trouble. Who you think I am? Boo Boo the Fool?
Boo Boo the Fool?
And I'm like, oh my God, he made a story about Boo Boo the Fool.
Yeah.
I'm there. I was all in that book. I was like, oh my God. I was like, wow. You know, so did you get inspiration from some of these stories from your childhood? I mean, are any of the characters in the book represented?
I think all of them. All of them have elements of me. All of them, especially the first one, Embrace the Gray. That was about me in full. I wrote that when I quit my job. I wrote that the day I quit the job that I was at. That was similar to what that character Roderick Cole was going through. So it has all have elements of me. I think we've all been Boo Boo the Fool at one point. We've all been Boo Boo the Fool, trying to please people who couldn't be pleased, to try to fit in the places that we didn't belong, and it cost us. It cost us in one way or another.
You know, the first story in this book, the first story that he's talking about, just to give you a very brief history on me and Roger, we met in a parenting group on Facebook many months, Lord, several years ago now, right? And both of us were, you know, just going through different things in our lives. And we are both creatives. Roger, go ahead, tell the people. Roger, I don't know why you didn't get your guitar and play something for the people.
Oh, I got a little something for this. I always got my guitar.
Okay, listen, Roger is a creative. He plays the guitar. Listen, okay, we are both creatives. Yeah, we are both creatives, and so Roger, when I met him, I think the job thing was something that you were wrestling with at the time that I met you. When I read this story, I also thought about myself before I quit my job, right? So I was like, you know, it was interesting what the man was saying, that, you know, everything is on a timetable. You can never enjoy anything. The man couldn't even enjoy his family because he had to go to work. And that's all that he could think about doing. And when he was at work, they wanted him not to think about his family. And so that story resonated with me. I listen, very upset, because I wanted to know, really, was all that really happening?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Book signing, every last one of these stories in here could be its own book. That's why I was like, oh, this could have been a little bit thicker. Listen, get this book. It's only $10. The book is only in totality, how many pages? 71 pages. 71 pages. I felt like it could have been 150. I would have took the Silent Exodus. I would have took that as a bigger chunk. I would have took the first story as a bigger chunk. A lot of these stories, I wanted to know who the people were. How was it going to end? What happened to them? Just a whole bunch of other questions that you can answer by continuing to write these stories. A lot of them in here, let me see. that Emberview Apartments.
That was fun.
Let
That
me
was fun.
tell you, I thought about that Lovecraft. Do you remember when Lovecraft was on HBO?
Oh yeah.
This is what that reminded me of.
No, thank you. Thank you.
And I was like, oh my God, that is horrific. You know,
That was that had a funny origins. I was in the car with somebody and they weren't wearing a seatbelt. And it was just chiming and chiming and chiming. I'm like, yo, you don't hear that? I was like, what if? That's how all my story starts. What if, based on some reality, what if, and then throw something paranormal. But yeah, I was like, what if there's some guy and there's a fire alarm that just won't go off, won't stop going off no matter what. Okay, so why is it going off? Or maybe it's something fire related. Or fire related, like what? Who is he? Is it against him? Is it for him? If it's for him, against what? When you name characters, you try to go on Google and try to look up, background to, potential names, and you I typed in Seraphine, and I found the Seraphim. I was like, bet. So there's some lore in there. But yeah, when I didn't know this was going to be a book until I was probably there's 6 short stories. I didn't know it was going to be a book till about probably my 4th or 5th story. I was like, I got some stories here. I was like, what if I made a book? Let me research how to do that. And the process was just really easy. And I was just how easy I saw it was. I could do this. And it was just motivation. And I just all right, I need a few more stories. Boom, boom, boom. I didn't know what to expect. I had no idea what to expect. I was really proud of the stories, the meat between the bread, my characters, the meaning. I was like, let's just go ahead and go. So I had no idea what to expect or what it was going to smell like, feel like. It could be a little bit thicker, but I love stories that leave you hanging. Like you ever see The Mist? At the
Yes.
end, had you like, damn,
This book had me more like this than that.
really? That is
This is
huge.
this is
Honestly, you've been making me blush since your opening, man. I
no,
don't know.
this is the best book I have read in a
Wow, thanks.
long time. As far as something that's straying away from something that I typically read, political in nature, religious in nature. This was just something that was strictly fun. And for it to be something that was just fun, it was very thought provoking with each story. Because I've had this book for like a week now, maybe 2 weeks.
Mhm.
And it took me a while to read the 71 pages because after every story, I was really thinking about some of the things, like the site of Exodus, when I said about the line about this system was not built for us, it was built on us. And we're used to injustice. Those were, it just set me to thinking about things that are going on now. The job thing set me to thinking about how much time I wasted in a job that I didn't like. In a job that had so many demands that I was so stressed out that I never enjoyed anything, even when I was off. Right? So it was like, for me, a great book makes you pause at every chapter. And this is what that did. These short stories, even with the apartment thing, how people were going to the apartment because the rent was so affordable. Like it was like really outrageously unbelievable, right? And then that didn't alarm them. They smelled smoke in the apartment and they still didn't get alarmed. You didn't see
The
fire.
red flag we ignore.
Right. And so I'm thinking, wow. And then when I get to the Boo Boo the Fool story, I'm like, yo, here we go. My grandma talking to me saying, okay, keep on being Boo Boo the Fool and believing that, this, that, and the other. And then there was the Black Moon story. Ooh, how
That
I
was my mom's favorite. My mom's favorite. She liked it so much. She said there's got to be another one, and I already got that written, and I'm
feel
working on my
like
second book now.
here needs to be the answer to Twilight.
The answer to Twilight. I like that.
You know what I mean? Like, because that's what that was all about, right? And so this needs to be the answer in a new series to Twilight. And I was like, man, was it hard coming up with the imagery and how you know wanted people to picture things? Because it seems like all of the words fell into the right place. Like, you know, when you're reading it, you can actually, you know, the In Her Name one. Listen, y'all need to read this book. I'm telling you, I don't promote a lot of stuff over here. Okay, I don't promote a lot of stuff over here, but the link is in the description. The book is only $10. We're going to be highlighting Black authors. We're going to get them on this platform if we can to talk with them about, you know, their inspiration and where these thoughts came from. The In Her Name story, man, from someone who has lost children. This one I could resonate with the couple, you know, the couple's story and the psychiatrist, how people treat you after. You
Mhm.
know, it was the thing. All of those things were familiar to me, which is what caused some trauma. I was like, that was scary to think about and relive. But you know, man, man,
I started writing that a couple of years ago and stopped. Um, you know, I was having a baby, and you know the job, and just not making the time for myself that I am now. But that that was the first story I started writing. Now I follow this author, a friend of mine's dad. His name is James Moore. He's got a TikTok, but and all his TikTok videos, he always ends. You know, he gives you advice and stuff like about writing, and at the end of every one, he says, "Write something every day." He has a book called Home. It's pretty cool. It's kind of like Stranger Things. You know, teenagers, demons. The wordplay in this is incredible, incredible. James Moore. But he said, "Write something every day." So when I made that decision to get back into my craft. And I tell people, you know, live in your passion. You know, I feel like everything that you desire is in your passion. And so far, it hasn't really let me down. Like I didn't think this book would exist, let alone be on somebody's, you know, platform talking about, let alone people reading it at all. Incredible. Just everything's in your passion. So I just started writing every day. And like I said, I didn't think I was writing a book at all until I was like, yo, page for page, I was like, this doesn't look bad. I was like, you know, these guys, we got some strong shit here. Excuse me, we got some strong stuff here.
Oh no, you can curse.
Um,
It's fine.
okay. I was like, I feel like this is really strong, and I was like, hey ma, read this. Hey ma, read that. Hey ma, read this. And you know, she threw her ideas. Like Boo Boo the Fool. He was. I had to make Boo Boo enviable, and you know how we are.
Mm.
You know how we are.
Let me
And
cross.
you know. And it's a problem that we have, and it's a problem we must overcome. But I hope that that story brings consciousness to the next time you hate on someone of your skin tone, what it can do generationally. So he was self-taught harmonica player in slavery times. And he was supposed to be, at first, he was supposed to be, you know, just special. And I was like, whoa, wait. How the hell did he learn how to read sheet music? And my mom was like, make him autistic. I was like, bet. So I described his autism, but I never said the word because back then it wasn't a thing.
Right.
So I'm really hoping when people read it, I gave it away, whatever. But it's described. to how
Entire thing away. I mean, you gave
okay.
a part about him away, which I think is the most intriguing part because during that time, that is how we were, right? We didn't know how to read. We weren't taught to read. So we you know, were born innately with certain things. And
Yeah,
that's something that he was born with. Um and excelled at so much that everybody enjoyed it, right?
right.
And you
Most everybody, yeah.
yeah, except bar the haters.
Yeah. Always gonna be the haters.
Bar the haters and the people that was watching, right? That didn't agree with what the haters were doing, but they wasn't speaking up for them though,
Mhm.
And so yeah, this book was, I mean, it was everything I expected because I know you.
Oh, thank you.
But it was more because it was every story was very relatable. It was very real, something that could be real, something that is really happening to people right now in 2025. And I think that again, this book is only $10. French Wrench, did you go buy one? French, did you buy one? I hope you did. I hope everybody that's on this stream right now, go to Amazon. I put the link in my description of this video on YouTube. If you're on Twitch, come over to YouTube and click the link. $10. I feel like I owe him some change. I ain't even gonna lie. I feel like I want to send another donation because I feel like this was so good. I feel
Thank
like
you. Thank you.
Netflix should call you and
Oh,
ask you to develop a few of these stories because I'm telling you that one that one I think it was that I told you made me think of Lovecraft.
mhm.
It was the Ember View
Memory View apartment.
apartments.
Yeah.
That man, do you have any books that you feel like you want to write in full?
In full. Let me see.
And it doesn't have to be related to this. Are there topics in you that you feel like you want to cover in full, in a book? I'm telling you, most of these need to be in full in a book.
To piggyback on what you said about the answer to Twilight, I think I could definitely do a series of books based on Black Moon. Black Moon
It's
starts.
the answer to Twilight.
Yeah, Black Moon starts with a young black man being pulled over by two white officers, and they give him the runaround, and he's just trying to make it home before dark.
I mean, he's sweating bullets.
Bullets. No pun intended.
Wait a minute. Let me show this. This
Okay.
picture. If you read this story right here in the book, you are going to throw the book because you're going to want to know more. It is really the answer to Twilight. I promise you. I promise you that it is. And I can think of a few other. I think True Blood. Did you watch that series, True Blood?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I would put this, yes, I would put this right there because of all the things that you introduced. See, that was the part that pissed me off. All of the things and people that I was introduced to in this little 4 or 5 page short story. The freaking police chief, the freaking officers, the boy in the car, the husband. I was like, now how dare you? How dare you introduce me to all these people and I can't even find out what's going to happen to them? So now I'm just stuck. I'm stuck here thinking, well, did they get a divorce? Well, what happened? Because she was scared. And now what am I supposed to do with that? I feel like I said, I feel like we have a lot of Black authors out there. If you're an author out there and you want to write a book, it is so much easier now
Mm.
that to publish a book than it was before. Roger, can you tell us a little bit about the process?
Yes. I was just, like I said, it was just an idea. I went on Google and how do I self-publish a book? Go to Amazon, and if you type in KDP, it's like you just click on it, and it gives you just like a template. It's just like a fill in the blank template. It asks you what kind of cover you want, what kind of gloss you want. It asks you, specific questions about the look. But then the hardest part for me was it asked you to create what's called a manuscript. So what a manuscript is like if you go into one Word document and if you put the whole book in order. So it, your prologue, your table of context, the stories, exactly how you want it, your epilogue, your shout outs, what the whole thing from start to finish. There's some things I had to go to the library, which is kind of cool. It was part of the process, but you do need like a desktop to make sure the margins are correct. Amazon's picky about the margins to make sure everything is nice and how they want it. But once you get that done, it's just, I'm telling you, you just put it all in one big document. You save it in like a PDF, and you transfer that a PDF over to that little space that they actually put it in. And there's a view section, and you just put the picture you want. It brought the template to make the back, and you can put your picture. It has like a little blank right here, a blank right here. And it shows you exactly what the pages are going to look like. And when you're satisfied with what it looks like, I think probably the hardest part for me was making sure the pages in my table of contents matched the pages that were in the preview of the book. So that just took some adjustment. But you just hit the go button when everything's the way they want it, and they just like a 2 or 3 day review, and Parallel Rooms was born.
Wow.
If everybody found out how easy it was, I feel like everybody in this chat would have a book, and I heavily encourage.
$0.
It charges you like a little bit out of every sale, but up front, nah.
$0 up front.
$0.
$0 up front.
Mm-hmm.
For all of you people, for all of you who think you know everything, put it in a book. Now $0. Now you can put it in a book and go on promote yourself. Now you can say you did something and you are a published author. You will be a published author. Man, I have several books that people have asked me or told me I should write. Right? That don't mean you should just because you can. But I have thought about doing it. One person told me that it wasn't that hard. And when I worked at Amazon, the human resource people was telling us how to do it because, we have the print on demand place right next door. And they were telling us anybody that worked for Amazon could do it and we could do it for free and go over there and print our own books and get them and just hand them out, whatever. And so I'm glad to see that now writing a book for us is not that far out of reach because it used to be a whole process, right? You got to go through a publishing company. They're going to charge you money up front. All of these things, and now we can just go right
to all on us. It's just put the work in. You got to want it. The process, because I didn't know what I was doing at first. The process was tricky. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I almost quit because I was like, it was always something. I was like, the margins. Okay, I got the margins right. Okay, now this is right. Now that's right. I was like, you know what? I was like, maybe I'm just not supposed to write a book. But I was like, no. I was like, nah. I got too much to say. So I just stuck with it and give myself patience. And this book, I've already figured it out. So but no, this is an accomplishment. Even if nobody read it, even if nobody read it, it was a personal accomplishment for me. My dad was a big reader. He passed away 2 Junes ago, and he was a big reader, and he would have loved. I think he got me to reading horror. I always watched horror. I was always a big horror fan, but he got me into reading horror, especially the Laurel K. Hamilton books with this main character Anita Blake. She was like a necromancer. She was a detective. She could raise the dead to get information, but she was messing with the head vampire and the head werewolf of the city. Dope books, great images, a whole world. But no, it was for me. Even if nobody read it, as a black man, as a black man who's in a family who's never had anybody publish a book before, it was a personal accomplishment for me. And with my son watching me, I have to do things. I have to step out there. I have to believe in myself, because how dare I say, believe in yourself when I haven't made the moves? I'm not going to be one of those parents where I'm like, oh, I'm raising you to be better than me and live this hypocritical ass parenting lifestyle. No,
It's something
I
that we
wrote a
do
book. I wrote a book, and Bryson, man, your name is in it
forever.
forever. I show it to him, and he loves to see his little name in his book. First and foremost, I want to give special thanks to my son, Bryson Cook, who is truly my heartbeat and my constant source of motivation. Every attempt to be at my best comes back to you. Daddy loves you very, very, very much. So I need him to see his dad write books, make music, and be the best version of himself. So when he becomes older and better than me, I'm not sure if I can write how that looks.
And you should say better because of you, not better than you, but because of you.
I'll take that.
Yeah, because, don't count yourself out, because we always do that. Oh, I'm going to make them the better version of me. No, I'm going to make them better because of me.
I dig that.
Me, I'm going to make them better. And French Wrench, you say you don't think it's easy to write a book. You probably would be surprised. If you wrote every day or you brainstormed every day and I have like a book beside my bed. I'll show it to you guys. This notebook right here. I write things in it. If sometimes I flip through this book and I think, wow, I could really turn that into a story, or wow, that'd be a great self-help book. If you really just start writing down things, for the most part, you probably have a book right there if you just put it together correctly. I think that everybody has something to say, and now
Yes.
that it doesn't cost anything up front for you to say it, maybe you should, whether it be about farming, whether it be, psychological thrillers, whether it be life lessons. I have a few books.
Biography.
Yeah, I have a few books that I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna do it. I've started this platform, which wasn't something that I originally set out to do. It
Which is
happened.
beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. It happened during a time that there was a place here where I live was going through some political turmoil, and the residents stood up and took their town back. And so after your father passed away the same time that my kid's father passed away, which was two Mays ago, 2 years ago. And so I really then was on a mission after I quit my job to take care of my children and homeschool them.
It changed me too.
Yeah, to do something meaningful with myself, with my platform, and just leave a mark for my children. If they ever decide to Google my name, when your son Googles your name, when he gets big enough to Google your name, this book is going to come up.
Forever.
Okay. And so, for me, that right there is an accomplishment all by itself, because at one point just think in history we were not allowed to do that.
Hmm.
And so you writing this book means everything to a lot of little boys, not just your little boy. You know, it will mean a lot to my son. It's going to mean a lot to other people's sons too. Other boys named Bryson as well.
Yeah.
You know, so I am so looking forward to so many more books from you. And again, I'm gonna go back in the description and I'm gonna tag Netflix in this description because we need more Black representation in these platforms, you know, Netflix, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Disney Plus. And man, this was a list of awesome stories that would entertain the masses.
Thank you. Thank you.
Telling you that Black Moon, I'm telling you, if you don't do anything but create a series of books, and we are going to have you back on this platform, right? Because we are looking for book 2. But I'm looking specifically for a series of Black Moon books. And take your time, because I want them to be good like this. But we're looking for the answer to Twilight. And that's how I'm gonna promote it because that's what it is.
The Answer to Twilight. That might be the title of the next book. The Answer to Twilight.
Right?
But
I feel like that's
do you mind? I want to comment on the the what was said about it's not easy to write a book.
go ahead.
I don't want to speak for anybody else, but definitely for myself. At my age, I'm 38. I've at my age and my experience, I've experienced enough content. I've watched a lot of movies. I've read books. But I feel like at some point, whether you listen to music or whatever it is you would like to enjoy, I think that we all should hit a point where, like, I've experienced enough in the audience seat. And I know what makes a good book, or I know what my idea of a good movie is, or what my idea of a good album is at this time of my life, where I have to stop in just enjoying, and I have to start creating. One quote me and my son do every morning before he goes to school comes from a movie called The Edge. It was 1990s. Anthony Hopkins. And I think Alec Baldwin. They crashed a plane in the mountains, and there's this bear after them, and the bear messes with them.
My favorite movie.
No, right? But I tell Bryson, and I'm gonna tell this guy, whoever said that, what one man can do, another can do. Say it again. What one man can do, another can do. Say it again. Good woman, because today we're gonna kill the motherfucker. We're gonna kill the motherfucker.
Yeah.
So we hype that up when it comes to whether he's trying to get a star for the day. We're gonna get that star because what one man can do, another can do. But words have power. I really believe. I read a lot of nonfiction. There's a book called what is it? Quantum. There's a quantum faith book. And it talks about energy, and it talks about the observer effect. Go look it up. This shit changed my life. The observer effect is something if you look at something like a nucleus or something in its purest energy, it changes form or it behaves differently depending on who's looking at it. So if you're looking at it, if it's being observed negatively, it will act negatively. If you look at it positively, it will act positively. So if you say you can't do something, you most likely won't. And that's not just a lean on me quote. That's legit. So with that quantum faith book really helped me kind of just look at things differently and step into a parallel version of myself that always existed, and be like, what one man can do, another can do. And it might take you a while. It might not take you long at all. But if you just put in the work, I keep hearing that consistently trumps talent. if you just put in the work, as you said, as easy as it is in 2025 to manifest, make something out of nothing, because all this started as a thought, and I feel like that's the God in us. It was a thought, and if you just believe in yourself, I feel like that's the first parallel room you can walk through. So whoever said that, I need you to go ahead and start writing your ideas down. Take your time with it. When I write my stories, even not the book, but just the story. Like I'll start with one story. I try to write in scenes because that's how I think. First scene, wherever the commercial break is supposed to happen, wherever the cliffhanger is, you just focus on that part. And you what if your ass off. You what if, talk to the homies, talk to your mom. What if? Get that first scene down. Okay. That first scene is a book by itself. Tomorrow, second scene where we pick up up. Say what if. Second scene is a book. So if you treat every sentence, paragraph like a book, it will come together. And the next thing you know, I'm telling you, when I got this in the mail, I was like, oh my God. And I still smell that new book smell. It's just like, I can't believe I fucking did that. And like, this is a template. This is a template. The second, now that I know what to expect, the second one is going to go even harder. I got deeper stories. I got more pages, first of all.
Okay. More pages.
More pages. This was a template. See if I can. And now that I know I can, I'm not stopping.
Because look, I done highlighted in my book. Because this also has been a great tool to teach my senior in high school how to write. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And these are short because those essays are coming up for school to, for scholarships and, write this, write that. This book has been so great at teaching her imagery, teaching her how to draw the people in, and like you said, there is power of life and death in the tongue.
Yes.
I mean, you literally set yourself up whenever you say something out loud and you put it out there in the universe, and I truly believe that. I truly believe that. And, it's part of why I have never, ever given up, no matter what I've come up against. And I always have this mentality, you might smack me, but you ain't going to beat me.
All right.
You might smack me, but you ain't going to beat me because I know the words to the song, Ike. You know what I'm saying? So, I just want to tell you, please keep going.
Yes,
no
ma'am.
matter what happens, keep going because the world needs to read this $10 book, by the way. Go into the link in my bio, click on the Amazon link, purchase this book. Purchase this. Support a Black author. This man has a son that he supports, and he's a creative. He plays the guitar very beautifully, by the way. And he's been doing. I see that he's been doing more and more gigs, and I hope that continues as well.
Yeah.
And so, please support this Black author. We are going to have more authors with different topics on this platform. But I specifically wanted to do this one today because it was just a great book. I could not put it down, but I had to put it down, if that made sense. After every story.
Several times.
Twice. There was 2 stories in here where I just the guy who knows all the recipes, and then when he eat it, he throw his glasses. That's what I did with this book. Roger makes me sick. Because if I had known this book was somewhere it's supposed to be in the making. When we talked the first time, we would have. This is the only thing we would have been talking about. I would have been saying, Roger, please. I don't want to hear anything else, please. No, don't call me back. Write the book.
Mhm.
No, don't send me no message. Write the book.
Talk to me till it's done.
Right. And so now I feel like that's what I'm gonna be doing again. Roger, did you write the Black Moon series? Did you start? Okay, well, call me back. No, don't send me no message. Call me back when you finish. I'm going to check in because I need to
Mhm.
know. But are we done yet? What are we doing? And then I need you to, every platform that I see where you can nominate a book or an author, this is what I'm going to nominate. Because there needs to be some sort of award on this book right here in the corner where they put those little award seals.
Oh man, thank you for that blessing. Thank you.
Because I'm even going to send this to some of my teacher friends to see if they can get it on the approved reading list for the English classes, because these little
Oh
short
wow,
stories,
that'd be incredible.
they have a lot of imagery. They have a lot of, when you used to be sitting in English class and you have to read reading the book in class, and then the teacher asks you, well, what did they really mean? This is one of those books.
That was a big motivator. I used to love that. AP English was my
I had AP English in high
took the
school.
reading home, and like the characters' names might have a little hidden meaning. I'm a big literary device kind of person. I like to
Yep.
play with words.
I was in AP English, and every time we read a book, here she go. We read and somebody get picked to read. They read the paragraph, and then here she go. What is the imagery saying? What do they really mean? What are they really talking about? We're like, ma'am, we was not born in 1800s. We don't know what that man really was talking about.
But you see how it leaves so much to the imagination. You have to almost write it yourself mentally. That's how I like to end them books. It's just like, all right, I said what I got to say, and I made my point. Now it's on you.
Right, and that's the way I felt. But I also felt like, well, I need to know a little bit more about the characters before I be making my assumptions. I mean, I know where the lady came from. When did her husband disappear? Where did her sons go? Why did the children disappearing too? When did this happen?
You ever heard of the Anunnaki? The ancient Sumerians?
I feel like
I have reason. There's a theory that we may not be from here.
Okay. So I feel like I was reading I think it was an essay by someone. I read a lot of essays too. I just finished reading an essay on the pardon power, the corruption of pardon power. But anyway, that's another story.
Billy Carson. Billy Carson has a book. Has a book called The Emerald Tablets. He's oh my god, strong brother. He talks a lot about the pyramids of Giza. Very esoteric, hidden knowledge kind of guy. Breaks down biblical texts. But I learned a lot about the Anunnaki and the ancient Sumerians, and considering how much of our history we do not know. Especially, I'm not sure if you ever heard of the back in the day, white people try to say that black people were like 2/3 human.
Yeah. And now the man saying we don't need vaccines and all of this stuff too.
Hey, we don't know really where we came from, so why not have us go back and just leave it all behind?
That's a good book you write in there, Roger. I'm interested to see you write something about the Masons too, the third eye and the pyramid and all of those things.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna write that down now. I need
I'm interested.
ideas.
Okay, I'm interested in seeing that. Because they're at one point they were saying that Jack the Ripper was a Mason. And so I'm very interested in seeing someone formulate something based on that. Okay. I'm gonna be checking it now. I'm gonna be saying, Roger, you have the book? Okay, well, call me back.
What if?
Listen,
It always starts with what if.
Yes. Yes, questions are always good. I usually write down a lot of questions after I write a paragraph. I'll write a lot of questions, to start filling in some of the
Mhm.
blanks. Um, but I want to thank you for coming, even saying yes to coming on this platform. I hope that all of you have enjoyed this talk that we've had with Roger tonight about his book, Parallel Rooms. You need to purchase it. It's only $10. This is the one that I was talking about, this story right here called In Her Name. Man, this was a horror story that was horrible. You need to read this. It really needs to be, one of those little short films too. Roger, think about it. Think about it. You can do so many things with AI now. You could be doing some little
You're
car-
right.
you could be doing some little cartoonish, videos
If
to
you got
go with
any ideas, throw them at me. It's possible. Yeah, with AI, AI created those images for me. Just
yeah, and they were
plug it in. This is what my story is about. This is what my story is about. Be as detailed as you possibly can. Just give me a Hollywood blockbuster poster, and it comes out with some crazy stuff, accurate. I'm like,
right,
damn.
right. And so, we will explore. Okay?
We will.
Listen, y'all.
Yes, ma'am.
Super producer wishes nothing but blessings for your life. Put down your electronics and your social media every now and then and pick up a book. You're going to realize that super producer, even though people be trying to say so many things about me, child, I read books avidly. We're going to do another one of these with a different author, and we're also going to go through some of the other books that I'm reading. And I think you're going to be surprised at a lot of the topics that I read and a lot of the knowledge that I gather. And we are wishing Roger much success on the many more books to come. Please, for all
Thank
the
you so much.
replay
Thank you for having
people,
me.
yeah, no, thank you. For all the people, the replay people, leave your comments or your questions below for Roger. We'll have him back to answer the question for you in not too long,
I
because
will be back.
what we hope is that we'll get an exclusive reading on something that maybe he's working on so that we can be the first platform to hear it.
All right. I'm down.
Okay.
I'm down.
And we'll have him back to answer your questions. Thank you for blessing this platform, and thank you for
Thank you.
stepping into your fears and facing your fears and having the courage to even just write and publish it and just find out what that was about. And thank you guys for tuning in. Listen, I'll see you guys on Saturday. On Saturday, we are going to be broadcasting from a town hall. Tune in when you see me come live. Like, share, subscribe to your friends. Share this video with everybody. Have them purchase this book. I'm gonna make this book and Roger the thumbnail for this video, so you will be able to
And
find it.
Halloween's coming. Perfect gift. Halloween. Put it in
Definitely.
near the
My
basket.
gosh. You know what? My deck just got finished. I'm gonna go buy a fire pit and read these stories to my kids on
Oh,
that deck while we have s'mores. Great idea, Roger. Roger, you a genius. I don't even know what you was doing working a job. You
I'm
a
gonna be
genius.
like you when I grow up.
I wish you a genius.
Genius.
All right, good night to you
Thank
guys.
you,
I'm
girl. I
gonna play us
appreciate
out.
you.
Hold on, Roger, before you leave. Later.
All in the queue, it's hella to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue.
Song is dope.
I wrote it.
Get out of here. That's yours. That's your voice. What? Hey,
Be in the
hey,
know,
hey.
just how much
That's
you
a
know.
nice little two-step jam right there.
All in the queue, it's